everyone, welcome back to this channel. I hope you are excited because today we are diving into a math challenge straight from the International Youth Math Challenge or IWMC. If you are new to this channel, let me quickly introduce IWMC. It's one of the largest math competition worldwide, designed to inspire students just like you to tackle challenging problems and showcase your mathematical talent. What's great is that participants from all over the world get the opportunity to solve fun yet tricky math problems. And today we will be taking a look at one of these. Specifically, we are going to break down problem A, which consists of two sequences. In this video, we will cover the first sequence. So without further any delay, let's get started. So first I will read out this problem. Problem A, continue the two sequence of numbers below and find an equation to calculate the nth value. Alright, here is our first sequence 2, 5, 10, 17, 26, 37 and so on. Our goal is to figure out a formula that can help us to find the nth term of this sequence. How do we go about this? Let's break it down step by step. So step 1 is calculate the difference. So I have written down this sequence again. And step 1 is calculate the difference. Find the first difference between the successive term. So our second term is 5 and first term is 2. So 5 minus 2. So 5 minus 2 is equal to 3. So our third term is 10 and second term is 5. So our difference 10 minus 5 is equal to 5. So our fourth term is 17 and third term is 10. So 17 minus 10 is equal to 7. Our fifth term is 26 and fourth term is 17. So 26 minus 17 is equal to 9. So then our sixth term is 37 and fifth term is 26. So our difference that is 37 minus 26 is equal to 11. So the first difference are, I will write down the first difference again. So the first difference are, the first difference. So the first difference are 3, 5, 7, 9 and 11. Okay, so in the second step we will calculate the second difference. Okay, so now we will find the second difference. So we will calculate the second difference by finding the difference between the two consecutive first difference. That is, first I will subtract 3 from 5, that is 5 minus 3 is equal to 2. Then I will subtract this 5 from 7, that is 7 minus 5 is equal to 2. Then I will subtract this 7 from 9, that is 9 minus 7 is equal to 2. Then I will subtract this 9 from 11, that is 11 minus 9 is equal to what? 2. Okay, so the second difference are constant. So I will write down this in a different color. Okay, so I will use this pen. Okay, so the second difference, so the second difference are constants, which is nothing but 2, right? So since the second difference are the constant, which is nothing but 2, in the step 3 we will form a quadratic equation. Since the second difference are constant, the sequence can be represented by a quadratic formula of the form an is equal to an square plus bn plus c. We will substitute the value for the first few terms to form the system of equation. Okay, so whenever you see that difference between the term are not constant but they are increasing by constant amount, that's a clear sign that we are dealing with the quadratic sequence. Okay, so hence we are using a quadratic formula to find the nth term of the sequence. So in the step 3 we will first substitute the value for the first few terms to form a system of equation. Okay, so for n is equal to 1, so for n is equal to 1, so for n is equal to 1, our equation will become, if we substitute 1 in place of n, our equation will become a1 square plus b into 1 plus c, which is equal to a1. And we know that a1, that is first term of the sequence, is 2. So I will write 2 in place of a1 and I will simplify this LHS of this equation, which is nothing but 1 square is 1. So it will be a plus b plus c. Okay, so now we will calculate for n is equal to 2. So if I substitute 2 in place of n, so our equation will become, so a into 2 square plus b into 2 plus c is equal to a2. And we know that second term of this sequence a2 is 5. So I will substitute 5 in place of a2, and 2 square is equal to 4. So 4a plus b into 2 is nothing but 2b plus c. So now I will substitute 3 in place of n. So for n is equal to 3, our equation will become, if I substitute 3 in place of n, our equation will become or look like a into 3 square plus b into 3 plus c is equal to a3. But we know that the third term of this sequence is, third term of the first sequence is 10. So I can substitute 10 in place of a3. So our LHS of this equation will look like 3 square is nothing but 9. So 9a plus 3b plus c. Okay. So for using n is equal to 1, 2 and 3, that is when we substitute n is equal to 1, n is equal to 2 and n is equal to 3 in the equation, n is equal to an square plus bn plus c. We got three equations which are nothing but, for n is equal to 1 we got a plus b plus c is equal to 2. For n is equal to 2 we got equation 4a plus 2b plus c is equal to 5, and for n is equal to 3 we got 9a plus 3b plus c is equal to 10. So we will collect this equation and give number 1, 2 and 3, and which will be our next step, that is step number 4. So here is a step number 4. We will set up an equation, and using n is equal to 1, 2 and 3, our first equation will be a plus b plus c is equal to 2, second is 4a plus 2b plus c is equal to 5, and third is 9a plus 3b plus c is equal to 10 will be our third equation. And in next step, that is step number 5, we will solve for a comma b comma c. Step number 5, we will solve for ABC. Solve for A, comma B, comma C. So first I will subtract equation first from second. So from 2 minus 1. So if I subtract equation number 1 from 2, we will get this 4a minus a is nothing but 3a. Okay, then 2b minus b is nothing but b, and c minus c is equal to 0, and 5 minus 2 is equal to 3, which will be an RHS for this equation, and I will give number 4 to this equation. So now we will subtract an equation second from the third. So from 3 minus 2 we will get an equation 9a minus 4a will be 9 minus 4 means 5a. Then 3b minus 2b, that is 3 minus 2 is nothing but b, so I will write b. Then c minus c is equal to 0, and in RHS of this equation 10 minus 5 is equal to 5, so I will give number 5 to this equation. And now we will subtract an equation 4 from 5, that is from 5 minus 4 we will get, that is 5 minus 4 we will get, if I subtract this 3a minus from 5a, that is 5a minus 3a is equal to 2a. Then b minus b is equal to 0, and RHS of this equation will be 5 minus 3, which is nothing but 2. Therefore our equation will become a is equal to 1. So I will give a box to this value of a. So a is equal to 1. So now our task is to find the value of remaining two variable, that is value of b and c. So we can easily find the value of b and c by substituting the value of a. So first we will substitute. So substitute a is equal to 1. We can substitute a is equal to 1 in any equation. Here I will substitute it in an equation number 4. So substitute a is equal to 1 into 4. We will get 3 into, in place of a if I substitute 1, so our equation will become 3 into 1 plus b is equal to 3, and therefore 3 into 1 is nothing but 3 plus b is equal to 3. Therefore b is equal to 3 minus 3, and which is equal to 0. So our equation will become b is equal to 0. So I will give a box to this equation. So now we will find the value of c by substituting value of a is equal to 1 and b is equal to 0 in any of the above equation. For sake of convenience, I will substitute it in the equation number 1. So substitute a is equal to 1 and b is equal to 0 into equation 1. So equation number 1 is what? A plus b plus c is equal to 2, na? So if I substitute a is equal to 1, b is equal to 0, equation will become 1 plus 0 plus c is equal to 2, and therefore 1 plus c is equal to 2, and therefore so, so therefore c is equal to 2 minus 1, and therefore c is equal to 1. So I will give a box to this equation, and in the next step we will find the final formula for this sequence, and then we will substitute n is equal to 7 in that formula to get the 7th term of this sequence. Okay, so in the step 6 we will find the final formula by substituting the value of a, b and c. Until now we have find the value of a, b and c, and our formula was an is equal to an square plus bn plus c. So if I substitute the value of a is equal to 1, b is equal to 0, and c is equal to 1, so our final formula will look like n square plus 1. So just a minute, so I will first write down this formula. So an is equal to an square plus bn plus c, but since the value of a is equal to 1, b is equal to 0, 1 into n square plus 0 into n plus 1. So therefore our final formula is n square plus 1. Okay, so I will write down this an. So I will again write down this final formula in the red color. Okay, so an is equal to n square plus 1, and I will give a box to this formula. Just a minute. Okay, so by using this formula we can find any n term. Okay, so our question was about to find the 7th term of the sequence, right? 7th term of the sequence. So we will find the 7th term by substituting the n is equal to 7 in the final formula. So a7 is equal to, so if I substitute 7 in place of n, our equation will become 7 square plus 1, which is nothing but 49, plus 1 is equal to 50, right? So I will again write down the 7 term, thus the 7 term is again write it down in red color, is 7 is equal to 50, and I will give a box to this equation. Okay, a7 is equal to 50. So our question was about to find an equation to calculate the nth value and find the 7th value of this sequence. Okay, so final formula for finding the nth value of this sequence is given by an is equal to n square plus 1, and 7th value of this sequence is 50. So our final solution will look like this. Okay, so just take a look at this solution once again before we move on. So let's wrap up the first sequence, but we are not done yet. There is a still second sequence waiting for us, and it's quite different from the one we have just solved. In the next video, we will explore the second sequence, which involves some tricky multiplication pattern. It's a bit more complex, but don't worry, we will walk through it step by step just like we did here. So if you enjoy this video and want to continue with the next sequence, make sure to like, share and subscribe to this channel, and you don't want to miss part 2. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Also, don't forget to drop a comment below if you have any questions and thoughts.